Hello, and welcome to Hushed Hour Stories. I'm glad you're here. If you're winding down for the night, or just need a moment of calm, you've come to the right place. Each night, we journey into a story designed to transport you to a place of peace and relaxation. If you enjoyed this presentation, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Also, if you have an idea for a story or a request, please leave it in the comments below. So, get cozy, tuck yourself in, and let the worries of the day just melt away. Tonight's story is ready to unfold just for you. Let's begin our journey into a world of dreams and gentle thoughts. Tonight, let's explore retelling of the classic myth of Eros and Psyche. Sophia adjusted her glasses and sighed as she glanced at the mountains of contracts on her desk. As a top contract lawyer at a prestigious firm, her days were filled with endless paperwork and high-stakes negotiations. Her friends often teased her about her workaholic tendencies, but she was determined to make a name for herself in the legal world. Love, as far as she was concerned, could wait. One evening, while packing up after another long day, her best friend and colleague, Mia, waltzed into the office.
You know, Sophia, there's more to life than work. You really should consider getting out there. Maybe try Cupid's Code?
Sophia rolled her eyes. The dating app? Seriously, Mia, you know how I feel about those things.
Come on, just give it a try. What do you have to lose?
Mia insisted, handing her a business card with the app's logo.
I hear it's run by this tech genius Ava, and her algorithm is supposed to be amazing.
Sophia took the card reluctantly, deciding she might as well look into it. What harm could it do? Ava sat in her sleek, high-rise office, gazing out at the city below. As the CEO of Cupid's Code, she had revolutionized the dating scene with her app. Powered by an advanced algorithm, Cupid's Code promised to find the perfect match for anyone willing to trust technology over fate. At a high-profile charity gala, Ava mingled with the city's elite. Among them was her son Elliot, a well-known socialite who seemed to have it all: wealth, charm, and a life of luxury. Yet as Ava observed him, she noticed a certain dissatisfaction in his demeanor. When Elliot took the stage to speak, his words confirmed her suspicions. Technology might be great for many things, but when it comes to love, it's just turning something beautiful into a transaction, he said, casting a critical eye towards Ava. Ava's eyes narrowed. She decided to teach Elliot a lesson by using her app to find his perfect match. She would prove that even a skeptic like him could find true love through Cupid's Code. Sophia hesitated before finally downloading Cupid's Code. Setting up her profile felt odd, but she trusted Mia's judgment. The next morning, she received a match notification. Curious, she opened it to find a profile that intrigued her. Elliot, the philanthropist with a passion for social causes and an interest in art. Their first meeting was planned to be at an art gallery showcasing local talent. Unbeknownst to Sophia, some of the pieces displayed were Elliot's own work, though he kept this fact hidden. When she arrived, she was immediately drawn to a particular painting, vibrant yet melancholic. It spoke to her deeply. "Beautiful, isn't it?" a voice beside her said. She turned to see Elliot, his eyes reflecting the same depth as the artwork. "Yes, it's stunning. There's so much emotion in it," she replied. "Do you know who the artist is?" Elliot hesitated for a moment, deciding to keep his identity a secret for now. "I've heard the artist prefers to remain anonymous, letting the art speak for itself." Sophia smiled. "I like that. It's refreshing in a world where everyone is so eager to take credit." "Hi, I'm Sophia," she said, extending her hand. "Elliot," he replied, shaking it firmly. "It's nice to meet you, Sophia." They wandered through the gallery, discussing the various pieces. Sophia was impressed by Elliot's insightful comments and deep appreciation for art. He pointed out details she had missed and explained different techniques with a passion that intrigued her. "What do you do, Elliot?" Sophia asked, genuinely curious. "I'm involved in some philanthropic work," he said vaguely. "I try to support causes that I care about, especially those related to the arts." Sophia sensed that there was more to this story, but she didn't press any further. She enjoyed the mystery and the genuine connection they seemed to share. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, covering everything from art to their favorite books. Elliot found himself drawn to Sophia's intelligence and dedication to her career. She was unlike anyone he had met in his usual social circles, grounded, driven, and refreshingly straightforward. Over the next few weeks, they met several times, often at art galleries or cozy cafes. Elliot continued to keep his true identity under wraps, not wanting his wealthy background to influence Sophia's perception of him. He reveled in the normalcy and sincerity of their interactions, something he rarely experienced in his usual life of luxury. One evening, as they strolled through a small, lesser-known gallery, Sophia paused in front of another of Elliot's paintings. "There's something about this one," she said softly. "It feels so personal, like the artist is pouring their soul onto the canvas." Elliot's heart raced. "What do you see in it?" he asked, genuinely curious about her interpretation. Sophia took a moment, studying the painting. "I see a struggle, but also hope. It's like the artist is trying to break free from something holding them back. It's incredibly moving." Elliot swallowed hard, moved by her words. "You have a good eye for art, Sophia." She smiled. "Thanks. I guess it's easier to see when you feel a connection." As their relationship grew, Elliot wrestled with the urge to reveal his true identity. He feared that doing so might shatter the authentic bond they had formed. Yet he knew that continuing to hide the truth could lead to an even greater betrayal down the line. Sophia, meanwhile, was falling for the Elliot she knew, passionate, insightful, and deeply caring. She appreciated how he made her feel valued and seen, a stark contrast to her high-pressure work environment. One evening, they attended a charity event for the arts, hosted by a mysterious benefactor. As they mingled with other guests, Elliot felt a pang of anxiety. He recognized several people from his social circle and knew it was only a matter of time before Sophia learned the truth. "Are you okay?" Sophia asked, noticing his distraction. "Yeah, just thinking," Elliot replied, forcing a smile. "I'm really glad you're here with me tonight." "Me too," Sophia said, squeezing his hand. "I feel like I'm seeing a whole new side of you." Little did she know just how true that was. As the evening progressed, Elliot resolved to tell Sophia the truth. He couldn't keep hiding behind half-truths and anonymity. He wanted their relationship to be built on honesty, even if it meant risking everything. As weeks turned into months, Sophia and Elliot's relationship blossomed. They spent weekends exploring the city, visiting galleries, and engaging in deep conversations. Sophia was impressed by Elliot's genuine concern for societal issues and his hidden talent for art, though he remained modest about his own work. One evening, as they walked through a park, Elliot turned to Sophia. "There's something I need to tell you," he began, his voice tinged with apprehension. Before he could continue, Sophia's phone buzzed. It was an urgent call from work. "I'm sorry, Elliot, I have to take this," she said, stepping away. Elliot sighed, the moment slipping away. He knew he needed to tell her about the truth about his identity and his art, but finding the right time was proving difficult. The next day, Sophia's world came crashing down when she stumbled upon an article about a high society event featuring Elliot and his mother, Ava. Realizing he had been keeping his true identity a secret, she felt a surge of betrayal. Confronting him, she demanded an explanation. "Elliot, why didn't you tell me who you really were? Were you just using me for some kind of social experiment?" she accused, her voice shaking. No, Sophia, it's not like that at all," Elliot pleaded. "I didn't want my background to influence how you saw me. I care about you, truly. And those paintings you admired, they're mine." But Sophia was hurt and confused. "I need time to think," she said, walking away, leaving Elliot standing alone in the park where they had met. As Sophia tried to process everything, she received a call from her boss, Mr. Harris, at the law firm. "Sophia, I need to see you in my office first thing tomorrow," he said, his tone unusually stern. The next morning, Sophia walked into Mr. Harris's office with a heavy heart. "Have a seat, Sophia," he said, gesturing to the chair across from his desk. "It has come to my attention that you've been involved with Elliot, Ava's son." Sophia's heart sank. "I didn't know who he really was until recently," she explained. "Regardless," Mr. Harris continued, "this relationship poses a serious conflict of interest. Ava is a significant client of ours. Any personal relationship with her family could compromise our professional integrity." Sophia felt a lump in her throat. "I assure you, my relationship with Elliot has no bearing on my work." "Be that as it may, perception is everything in our field," Mr. Harris said. "I'm afraid you'll have to choose. Either end your relationship with Elliot or step down from your position here." Sophia left the office feeling devastated. Her career was everything to her, but her feelings for Elliot were undeniable. She spent the next few days in turmoil, avoiding Elliot's calls and texts as she tried to figure out what to do. Meanwhile, Elliot was equally distressed. He knew he had to make things right with Sophia, but he had no idea how deep the consequences of their relationship ran. Desperate, he decided to confront his mother. He found Ava in her office reviewing the latest updates to Cupid's code. "Mom, I need to talk to you," Elliot said, his voice filled with urgency. Ava looked up, surprised by his tone. "What's wrong, Elliot?" "It's about Sophia," he began. "Her job is at risk because of our relationship. Her firm represents your company, and they're saying our relationship is a conflict of interest." Ava sighed. "Elliot, this is exactly why I wanted to match you with someone outside of our social circle. Personal relationships can complicate professional ones." "But Mom, I love her," Elliot said, his voice breaking. "I can't just walk away from her." Ava softened. "I understand, Elliot, but there are protocols and professional boundaries that need to be respected." Elliot felt a surge of frustration. "Can't you do something? You're the client. You could tell them it doesn't matter." Ava shook her head. "It's not that simple. Even if I did, perception of impropriety could still damage both your reputations." Feeling defeated, Elliot left his mother's office, more determined than ever to find a solution. That evening, he waited outside of Sophia's apartment. When she finally arrived, he could see the exhaustion and worry etched upon her face. "Sophia, we need to talk," he said gently. She nodded, letting him inside. They sat down, the weight of their situation pressing down on them. "Elliot, I can't lose my job," Sophia said, tears welling in her eyes. "I worked too hard to get here." "I know," Elliot replied, taking her hands in his. "And I don't want to lose you. There has to be a way to make this work." Sophia looked at him, her heart aching. "I don't see how. My firm won't budge. They've given me an ultimatum. End our relationship or resign." Elliot felt a surge of determination. "Then I'll talk to them. I'll tell them that our relationship is personal and has no bearing on your professional integrity." Sophia shook her head. "Elliot, it's not that simple. They're worried about the perception of a conflict of interest, not the reality." Elliot's mind raced. What if I step back from my mother's company, focused on my art and philanthropy instead? Sophia looked at him in surprise. "You'd do that for me?" "I'd do anything for you," Elliot said earnestly. "I want our relationship to be built on honesty and integrity. I don't want my background to jeopardize your career." Touched by his sincerity, Sophia nodded. "Okay, let's try to figure this out together." Determined to make things right, Elliot decided to take drastic action. He knew that stepping away from his mother's company would be challenging, but his love for Sophia was worth it. First, he needed to confront Ava and explain his decision. Elliot found Ava in her office, deep in thought. "Mom, we need to talk," he said, his voice firm but respectful. Ava looked up, sensing the seriousness in his tone. "What is it, Elliot?" "It's about Sophia and our relationship," he began. "Her job is on the line because of us. I can't stand by and watch her suffer for something that's not her fault." Ava sighed, her expression softening. I know this situation is difficult, but you must understand the professional boundaries we have to maintain. I do, Elliot replied. That's why I've decided to step back from your company. I'll focus on my art and philanthropy instead. Ava's eyes widened in surprise. Elliot, are you sure? That's a significant decision. I'm sure, Elliot said with conviction. Sophia means everything to me, and I won't let my background or our relationship jeopardize her career. This is my choice, and I hope you can support it. Ava studied her son, seeing the determination and love in his eyes. I respect your decision, Elliot. I just hope you understand the implications. I do, he replied, but this is the right thing to do for both of us. With a sense of resolve, Elliot left his mother's office and headed to Sophia's apartment. He had called ahead, and she was waiting for him, her expression a mix of hope and apprehension. Sophia, I did it, Elliot said as he stepped inside. I talked to my mother, and I've decided to take a step back from her company. Sophia's eyes widened. Elliot, you didn't have to do that. I did, he said gently. I love you, and I want us to have a future together without any doubts or conflicts hanging over us. This is my way of proving that to you. Tears filled Sophia's eyes as she embraced him. Thank you, Elliot. This means more to me than you can imagine. Their embrace was interrupted by the ringing of Sophia's phone. It was Mr. Harris, her boss. She answered with a mixture of nerves and determination. Hello, Mr. Harris. Sophia, I've received some news, Mr. Harris began. It appears that Elliot has officially stepped down from his position at Ava's company. Given this development, we no longer see a conflict of interest. You can continue your relationship without any professional repercussions. Sophia's heart soared. Thank you, Mr. Harris. I appreciate your understanding. She hung up and turned to Elliot, her eyes shining with joy. It's official. We can be together without any more obstacles. Elliot smiled, pulling her into a tight hug. I'm so glad. We did it, Sophia. We did it together. The major hurdle behind them, Sophia and Elliot felt a newfound sense of freedom. They spent more time together, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. Elliot immersed himself in his art and charity efforts, finding fulfillment in his true passions. Sophia continued to excel in her career, her heart now lighter with Elliot by her side. One evening, Elliot invited Sophia to an art gallery for a special event. As they entered, Sophia noticed that the gallery was filled with Elliot's paintings, each one more breathtaking than the last. These are incredible, Sophia said, her eyes wide with admiration. Why didn't you tell me you were so talented? Elliot smiled, taking her hand. I wanted you to see me for who I am, not just as an artist or a wealthy socialite. But now I want to share every part of my life with you. As they moved through the gallery, they stopped in front of a painting that had first caught Sophia's eye, the vibrant yet melancholic piece that had spoken to her so deeply. This one is my favorite, she said softly. It feels so personal. That's because it is, Elliot replied, his voice filled with emotion. It's about finding hope and love in the midst of struggle. It's about you, Sophia, Tears welled up in her eyes as she turned to face him. Elliot, I love you. He cupped her face in his hands, his eyes locking onto hers. I love you too, Sophia, more than anything. Their lips met in a tender kiss, sealing their commitment to each other. The world around them seemed to fade away as they shared that moment, their hearts and minds fully aligned. As they pulled away, Elliot's phone buzzed with a notification. He glanced at it and smiled. It's from my mom. She wants to know if we can have dinner together soon. She says she has some ideas for a new project that could use a legal expert. Sophia laughed, feeling a warmth spread through her. I'd like that. Maybe this time we can work together openly and honestly. Definitely, Elliot agreed. No more secrets, no more conflicts, just us supporting each other. As they left the gallery hand in hand, they knew that their journey was just beginning. They had faced challenges and emerged stronger, their love proving that when the heart and mind align, anything is possible. Sophia and Elliot walked into their future with confidence and joy, ready to embrace whatever came their way together.